Warning, the following video is intended for an audience over the age of 13 years old. This is to comply with the FTC and the Children's Online Privacy Act. The content is intended and geared towards an older audience. If you are under the age of 13, then please click off of the video, as this channel and video isn't intended for you. Now, enjoy the video. Hey everyone, welcome to Lost Media Junkie, a channel where we look at media that has been lost to time. Now, one thing that seems to be common with lost media are lost pilots to existing shows. For the most part, I probably won't talk about these as I will just sound super repetitive, as I would say more or less the exact same thing in every video, and that will just get boring, but sometimes exceptions can be made, and today we're going to be doing just that. Yes, today we are going to be talking about the 90s Japanese anime Sailor Moon. Before I sum up the plot, I just want to say this is going to be coming from someone who has only watched a little bit of the show, so my details may not be that accurate. So, Sailor Moon is about a 14-year-old girl named Serena, or Usagi in the original Japanese voiceover, who finds out she is meant to be Sailor Moon and fight evil protruding from a dark organization called the Dark Kingdom, all because she saved a cat that was being bullied by some kids. The cat is named Luna, and she is roaming the earth in search for the reincarnations of the Sailor Scouts. She is roaming the earth in search of the reincarnations of Sailor Moon and the other Sailor Scouts, and Serena just so happens to be Sailor Moon. After Luna gives Serena a locket that lets her transform into Sailor Moon, the pair head off to fight evil in order to save the world. And by that I mean scream and yell and run away from every little fucking fight imaginable. But anyways, throughout this series we find other Sailor Scouts, all of which are named after other planets, as they work together to try and stop this evil while getting caught up in teenage girl style shenanigans along the way. Yes, I know that plot summary is terrible, but I have very little experience with this show, so that's the best you're getting from me. If you want a better description, go find a review of the show on YouTube or something. But what this video is focusing on is a pilot for Sailor Moon, and no, it is not a pilot for the original anime. Listen closely, as this is now about to get interesting.
American version of Sailor Moon. The reason I was involved is that one of the ideas was to actually use Lightwave for computer-generated backgrounds, and possibly for some vehicles as well. There's some very nice designs for those that we were going to be modeling. We didn't really have time to do much of that in here, but this will show you some of the other ideas in the show. It's going to involve part live action, part cell animation, and some computer animation. Anyway, it is shelved for now, because it's cheaper to bring over the imported Sailor Moon and redub it. So let's have a look. Please have an open mic.
Is this dubbed or? Wow.
In 1993, before the Sailor Moon we all know came to North America, an animation company called Toon Animation created a 17-minute pilot showing their version of Sailor Moon. This version, however, was going to be more Americanized, as it was going to feature a live-action cast of teenage girls alongside American animation. It appears to have a similar feel to Power Rangers, a show that was very popular at the time this pilot was being developed, and because of that, the show was nicknamed Saban Moon, as Saban is the company that owns the rights to as well as created the Power Rangers. In fact, the pilot was created to interest both Bandai, who is one of the right holders of Sailor Moon, we will get more into that later in the video, but also Saban, to help produce the show, to air on Fox Saturday mornings. However, for one reason or another, the series was rejected, and eventually a dubbed version of the original anime was brought over and ended up doing very well. During the process of pitching this show to Fox, a 2-minute music video was made showing both live action footage as well as the animated footage. This video has been found and uploaded to YouTube thanks to a YouTube channel with the name Fokusu1991. The footage was shot at Anime Expo in 1998, where the music video was being screened by a man named Alan Hastings. Alan Hastings created a company called New Tech, where they created graphics software that Toon Maker used to render some of their animations. There is a lot of other uploads of this music video as well by various different YouTube channels, mostly ones of edits to try and improve the video quality. Aside from this, no other footage from the show has come up, and the whole 17-minute pilot is lost as of the recording of this video. However, there is more stuff that was found, and the story of how it was uncovered is pretty interesting. In late 2012, one of the heads of Toon Makers, Raymond Lacavasi, was arrested for battery after an incident with his roommate. After his arrest, a storage unit he owned went up for auction and was sold. In the storage unit, a bunch of animation cells and concept art were found, along with a script that appears to be for the voiceover work in the pilot. All of these are available online and can be viewed on the Lost Media wiki post, which is linked down below. So I highly suggest you check that out to be able to view everything that's out there. So what else is there left to say about this adaptation of Sailor Moon? Well, Toei, one of the companies that has the rights to Sailor Moon and the company that is allowed to grant licenses to be able to use the Sailor Moon property for animated or live action adaptations, give Toon Makers a license while Toei was trying to find a way to bring Sailor Moon to Western audiences, hence why Toon Makers were legally able to produce this show without facing any sort of lawsuit. It is also revealed in a 2001 interview with the founder of Toon Makers, Rocky Solotov, that after the adaptation failed, they handed the production material to Toei and kept copies for themselves for reference. Solotov also confirmed many years later in a 2016 interview that they actually have a full copy of the actual pilot, but due to it being part of a demo reel, they cannot release it. It can only be shown to interested clients and want to hire the company. There are other little things I haven't mentioned, but I am going to leave them out as I don't want to sit here and just list things off all day. Basically, there is a music video, several animation cells, and concept art pieces. There's also a 14-page script for the animation voiceover, and from the sounds of it, the actual pilot exists, but due to it being in the demo reel, and honestly I'm sure copyright has something to do with it as well, the company is unable to release it. Yeah, basically it's give you a TLDR in video form there. Now I'm going to do something that you won't see me do too often in these videos, as these are more video essays, but I'm going to give my opinion on the pilot. I can 100% see why the show didn't happen. This just feels like a company noticing the popularity of Power Rangers and we're like, let's take another property of some kind and completely rip off Power Rangers and hope to make a few bucks. Another reason I can see why this show never got made is the animation. Now don't get me wrong, in terms of the quality of the animation, I have seen worse. With that said, however, the animation looks really out of date, and not only is it out of date today, but it would have even been out of date in the 90s. This animation looks like it's clearly taking inspiration from Filmation. They're the company known for shows like He-Man and the Masters of the Universe and She-Ra, Princess of Power. These shows came out around the early to mid 80s, and once the 90s came around, the world of animation changed drastically and made these shows look instantly out of date. So the fact this Sailor Moon adaptation looks like Dai's She-Ra, that really doesn't work too well in this show's favor at all. I also don't really like the character designs. They're just ugly and just look way worse than the original show. The only design I found decent was Luna. Mind you, she is supposed to be a black cat, not a white cat, and I wouldn't care so much, but in Sailor Moon there is a white cat that comes in later in the series named Artemis. So yeah, nice color choice there, guys. There is no doubt in my mind that this show would not have worked, and I am honestly glad it didn't come to fruition, because if this show would have been made, we would not have gotten the English dub of the original, and would only think of Sailor Moon as this thing and not what we actually got, which while flawed and annoying at times, it is still perfectly watchable in my books. So yeah, due to everything I said in this video, I feel this is a piece of lost media that probably won't get released unless Toon Makers, if they even still exist, get permission to release the pilot, or an employee at Toei leaks it online. With all of this said, we have reached the end of this video, but before we go, I just want to thank everyone for the good response we had to our last two videos, especially the naughty video, as it seems to be picking up in views every day and has loads of comments. If we still get engagement in these videos, I would love to start answering one question from you guys at the end of every video as a way to engage with my audience and be able to let you people get to know me a little. So leave your question in the comments below, and who knows, maybe I will get a chance to answer it next time. For now though, we have reached the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Remember to follow our socials, and if you're new here, then subscribe and hit the bell icon to get instant notifications when I upload a new video. Also, go ahead and subscribe to my main channel, Studio 95, by clicking the first link below. Anyways, this has been Lost Media Junking, and we are tuning out.